What is up, y'all? Welcome to this special edition episode of the Two Game Podcast. 3 years in the motherfucking making.
Long time, sir.
3 years, sir. Guys, this isn't like just a regular episode 119 or anything like that. We're recording that tomorrow. This episode, Christian and I have been talking here lately on a bunch of different episodes, and it's been, dude, you remember where we came from? And
the closet.
Well, then he's not wrong.
Well,
we really started from the bottom, and now we're here, kind of thing. Well, we're almost there. We're not here yet.
Almost there. Almost.
We're relaunching the podcast, and basically everything is being relaunched next month in July. So I thought this was the perfect opportunity to kind of look back at some of the things that we have gone through, our experiences with the podcast, and then we're also going to look towards the future. I've been teasing it for weeks, months about this relaunch, and it's almost here, guys. The studio, which is why it's going to be a relaunch. We're finally moving out of the bathroom.
Yay.
And moving into what I hope is a good studio. So I got to do some painting over the next couple weeks. I'm hoping mid-July. Mid-July will be our first episode in there. Hopefully, I got my desk ordered. I got to get the bookshelf, which I'm going to have all my collectibles and shit like that behind me. I also have some of this, like, I don't even know what you would call it. Like, it's almost kind of like a rising sun Japanese, like, samurai art that I'm looking into getting, and it's gonna look pristine. Okay, it's gonna look sexy.
Pristine.
But before we jump into the future, let's look back. Okay, this is 3 years in the making. June 21st.
Indeed.
3 years.
It's a long time, sir.
I remember mowing the yard, and it just popping into my head. I was listening to a podcast while mowing. I could hear every other word because you can't hear shit when it's mowing, right?
Right.
So I was just thinking, how fun would it be to actually just bullshit in front of a mic and a camera and just have people come together. The thought kind of just crossed my mind, and I stopped mowing pretty much, and I text Christian, and I was like, dude, are you fucking down? And he was like, yeah, I'm face down.
I mean, it's fair.
More or less, that's what he said.
There was no hesitation whatsoever. Not at all.
So what's your experience so far with the podcast? Good and bad. Good and bad.
The bad? Let's start off with the bad. The bad, I did not realize how much time it would do and consume, because it does. But it's been, I wouldn't really say it's bad, but it's the only bad thing I could really think of. The drive. I guess the drive between our houses, because we live too far away. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But other than that, that was probably it. I enjoyed this whole trip. Entertaining, the downs, the ups, the success, the improvements. Shit.
Jesus.
If I was in this for the money, we poor as fuck. But yeah, no, it's been a fucking, the good is, get to fucking do this shit with you every fucking week. Fuck yeah. Even if I don't get to see you for a week, still get to see you.
Exactly.
So, and then, talk about video games, like, fuck yeah. Anime, yes.
Oh no.
Oh no. Talk about nerdy shit. Fuck. This definitely made my nerdiness come out more than it used to. Like, used to be one of those, oh, you're a nerd? Oh no, we won't talk to them. Bitch, fuck you. I go around telling patients I'm a fucking nerd. Fuck.
Right?
Go to Comic-Cons and
Same.
go to all this shit. I'm like, fuck y'all.
Dude, do you remember those audio issues we used to have? I'm pretty sure the first 60 episodes of the podcast are not that great. The content is good. The audio sucks.
I got one of my buddies to start listening He told me yesterday. He said he loved our stuff, but the beginning episodes were
Rough.
struggle. I was like, dude, it only gets better because he started at the beginning and he's about halfway through. And I'm like, dude, it only gets better. Like, I promise you, the audio's it gets better. I promise. And then later on, we get visual. So then you can watch it on YouTube or Spotify, whatever you want to do.
The
He's like,
evolution.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
God,
He
those audio
enjoys our
issues,
talks.
man. I can't tell you how many we have. I don't know if people out there know this, but we have 2 unreleased episodes
Yeah. Yeah.
because of audio issues. Like they're still on my Anchor. I could legitimately just hit publish and it would be out there for everybody. Right this second. I could
Wasn't
do
it
it.
the anime one that we had fucked up?
It was DC Fandom.
Okay.
That was the one that before we did Zoom, I had you on speakerphone doing the
God.
podcast, and it was garbage, absolute garbage. Like I listened to it,
Garbage.
I'm like, this is you can't. This is no, can't do it. Edit, delete. And then the other one was I don't even remember what episode it was.
I thought it was the anime one we did that you just couldn't hear shit.
It may have been. It may
Because
have
I
been.
remember us going over our top animes like in the beginning, and I gave a bunch of recommendations. So, like the whole episode was anime, the whole episode. And when we both listened to it, it was it was hit and miss because like one mic wasn't working and the other one was, and I was picking up on your mic. It was bad. It was bad.
And that was one of the things with when we did in person, episodes. It was one of those things where we never knew if the audio was good or not.
Right.
Until the episode was fucking done and we'd already been done with
shit.
We talked about Hogwarts Legacy, The Last of Us, Suicide Squad, Lord of the Rings, and Gotham Knights. It was episode 104.
There you
Oh,
go.
actually it was really not that long ago. It was back in March.
Wow.
I don't even know why. It was the audio issues for that. It was just garbage. That was me and Eric though. The audio just didn't turn out good enough. So I think Patreon ended up having it. Which, by the way, since I just mentioned it, if you're listening to this or watching this, vice versa, you can watch it on Spotify as well. There's a video podcast on Spotify, or you can watch us on YouTube, whichever you prefer. If you want to consider supporting us, maybe, helping us out a little bit, getting us bigger and better, shout out patreon.com/2game. That is the number 2. Support us at any of those tiers, and you get access to our Discord, and then you help make this podcast better. We don't really make any money off of it, guys. We get this money, and then we put it back into the podcast. I've been using all this money to get new equipment over the last couple months. We've been using it to give back to our supporters. So yeah, patreon.com/2game. Speaking of Patreon, the Patreon supporters, dude.
They came in clutch for us, bro.
There are several. There are several that joined us right out the fucking gate. Didn't give a fuck. We said we were doing a podcast, and they were like, "Sign me the fuck up."
Right.
I'm looking at you, Carmen DePsycho. I'm looking at you, Eric Hernandez. My mom, Sharon Petrie. I'm looking at you, Chris and Tyler. Those were the OGs, man.
Right.
And then Sir Michael King wasn't far behind it.
Nope. I remember selling that for him. Making crew change. I'm like, bro, we do a podcast. He's like, do we? Do you? Like, let me can you pull it up for me? And I pulled it up for him, let him listen. Quick sense.
Guys, I don't think y'all understand. When this first started, we were doing group text.
Yep.
Sure. And then Sir Michael King came into the mix, and he was like, bruh, fucking Discord. I was like, the fuck is Discord? and
sold.
And sold. So it's kind of crazy just how far we have come with a lot of this. I mean, we've in the closet. I'm telling you guys, right the fuck there. Christian and I in a walk-in closet together on a bench.
It got hot quick.
It did. For more reasons, one.
There's a lot of reasons there.
Yeah, just from the bathroom, and then now, we've been doing it. We've been doing it remote for a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. It's
Yep.
We haven't done a in-person review or an episode in a very long time.
Right.
And then now we're moving out, into the studio. It's going to be a nice little setup. Have you ever watched Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum?
Yes, I have.
You know how he's sitting on a couch, and then like the person across from is sitting on a couch. So that's kind of what I envision for the podcast. You come over, somebody else comes over, and they're just fucking chilling in a couch, man, in a little chair, and we just talk about nerd shit for an hour.
There's nothing wrong with that. Not at all.
There's nothing wrong with that. But then we went from just audio only to video podcast now, and
TikTok to YouTube.
We're everywhere. I'm on Twitter now. I'm doing
fucking shit, all kinds of shit, man.
I'm trying to get better about social media and get us the fuck out there, So it's been a lot of changes over the last couple of months. One thing that I think we have done better than anything this year has been our scheduling.
Yep.
I feel like we are finally all right. Next week,
every Wednesday, Thursday, fucking depending on obvious schedules and when we're ready to do it, but once a week we have something.
Yes. Whereas shit, dude, we would go 2-3 weeks without an episode. And right. shout out to the Patreon supporters. Okay, shout out to y'all. I know that when we first started it, Christian had went to you went to Florida and like Monroe, I think.
Yep.
And I mean, there were several weeks where we didn't have episodes, but y'all continue to support us. And then I got sick with COVID and I almost fucking died. I mean, I don't want to over exaggerate things, but it's neither near or there.
he was bad. I can attest to that.
We went a month and a half without a fucking episode. It was, and again, the Patreon supporters were there for us 100% of the way. Now, I mentioned some Patreon supporters a second ago. Those are obviously not all the ones that we have, but those were the OGs. Okay, those are the ones that said, "Hey, I'm supporting you." A1 since day one. They were the ones that joined us when it was just a fucking dream. Okay.
Yep.
We weren't doing all this shit. So shout out to y'all. We really appreciate it. And honestly, I could never say thank you enough, because this is hopefully one day will be my get out of jail free card with fucking EMS, which is why this all started to begin with.
Correct. Oh,
I want to get out of EMS. I want you to get out of EMS.
Yeah, I want to get out of EMS.
I want to be one of those guys that's sitting in his fucking garage in his whitey tighties, eating Cheetos, playing fucking video games for a living.
Right. I agree with that 100%.
So over 3 years, 118 episodes of the Two Game Podcast. Actually, it's probably, I think it's a few more than that. We have some bonus episodes that we've done. 250 episodes of Surfing the Stream. About 100 episodes of the Wall of Death podcast, which is our music review podcast. And then I didn't count Rants and Raves and Anime Nation. That's a lot. Okay. So, I mean, you're effectively looking at 3, 4, almost 500 episodes.
A lot.
In 3 years. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the good and the bad. Time consuming was definitely like the thing that I was not expecting. This is a full-time job for me. I put 40 hours into this just about every week.
Yep.
Between researching, between social media, between doing the thumbnails, editing, anything and everything. But you know what? I honestly wouldn't trade most of it for anything. So some of it, I'm like,
that editing sucks, too.
It does. The editing fucking blows. I remember, sir, Episode 0, State of the Union address, the coming out party. Okay, I remember doing it in my fucking kitchen and stopping every 5 seconds to record that episode, and then it took me hours. I'm gonna go back and see how long this episode was. While
I think it was 30 minutes.
Was it 30 minutes?
I think it was 30 minutes.
Yeah, I remember it taking me hours to edit that one episode. And then just slowly but surely over the course of a couple years, it got down to where I can do this shit like as soon as almost as soon as we're done recording it.
Yeah, I remember you adding the music to it and everything else.
I miss that music. It just fucked, you know? It just fucked. And that was the key.
It did slap, sir. It did.
5 minutes was the episode 0. Okay. Our first episode, which was The Last of Us 2 preview, Pokemon DLC, on-demand movie discussion, 36 minutes.
Oh, dude, I remember that. It took us 2 hours to record it, but it was only like 30 minutes. I remember that shit.
Because we had to stop and start so damn much.
Yeah.
And then I was cutting it down to basically nothing. So yeah, the overall thing that I would say has been a pain in the ass was just how time consuming it is. But one of my favorite things that I've done on the podcast, or multiple things I've done good on the podcast. One, developing new friendships. I've developed friendships with just about all of our Patreon supporters. They're almost kind of like family to me now, just because I've spent so much time talking to them and getting to know them. So the friendships, big thing. Second thing, one of the most proud things of a particular episode is the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 deep dive series. It is 70 views more than the next one on our list. So it is the most played episode that we've ever done. And unfortunately, Christian only did like one part of that. Yeah. But it's still like, it was our first deep dive series, and I'm telling you, that experience was great. And Final Fantasy X, it didn't necessarily get the plays that I was wanting, but that was still a hell of a game to play along with Chris. But all that to say, we have gone through a whole bunch of changes. We've gone through 3 different logos up to this point. We had what we called the potato logo. Yep. And then I don't even remember what the first logo was off the top of my head. I'd have to look at it. The potato logo was like a temporary one until we made the one that we have now. And yeah, guys, it's been a hell of a ride. But all that to say, we are looking to the future now. Indeed. And that is the Rebirth. We are titling this little coming out party, I guess you can call it, next month. Is the Rebirth. We are relaunching everything. Just some little tidbits, some little teases, okay? I'm a cock tease y'all a little bit. I got a capture card coming in, face cams, new mics. I got the desk coming in. Getting out of the bathroom, so it's going to be more presentable in the background, not in my fucking bathtub. So all kinds of good things coming, right? We would really appreciate it if you're listening to us and you're watching this to join us at patreon.com/2game, because our next goal, and it's a huge fucking goal, okay? We need everybody to support us that we can, because our goal is to take over Comic-Con in San Diego. Now, a lot of people are like, how are you going to take over San Diego Comic-Con? Look, don't worry about the fucking fine details, okay? Let us handle that.
Just let's get in there. Let me in.
Shout out. Yes. Just let us be inside.
Let me in, little pig.
But yes, we are going to take it over. We will show the fuck up whether we have tickets or not. Okay, we will fucking be there. I am getting inside that fucking place.
If not, we can talk to the people outside. I guarantee there's going to be a line somewhere.
Exactly.
Get our name out there.
And all that to say, we're going to be taking over other Comic Cons as well. We're going to be talking to cosplayers, other Comic Con goers, getting their stories and what Comic Con means to them. So look for that in the near future, probably towards the back end of this year. We're just going to be doing a lot of video podcasts in terms of like their own little series. We're also going to be going into like different comic book shops and like collectible stores, nerd stores, and we're going to be doing it. I kind of compare it to like One Bite Pizza reviews, where they go in and review the comic book stores. But I'm not necessarily going in there and saying, "Hey, this fucking place is trash." No, we're here to because comic book stores are going out of favor
Support
at
the
this
local
point.
businesses, man.
They're disappearing. So I want to. I guess it seems more. I guess it seems better than what it actually is, but I want to give back to the comic book stores. The ones that provided us with a lot of entertainment. And I'm not saying we're going to give them publicity or anything like that, but I think it'd be great to see some of the behind the scenes people. And hell, I mean, if you're in New Orleans, well, what fucking comic book store can I go to? Oh, well, you just look at 2Game and there the fuck it is. We've already been there. So it's gonna be that kind of stuff. We're gonna continue doing watch alongs and more Patreon events as well. We're gonna try to do 1 to 2 a month at least. And then more guests. This is all part of the Patreon surveys that I put out every 6 months. It's been about a year since I did the last one, mainly because we were going through some rough patches in the podcast. But more guests, different voices out there, which is going to be a huge focal point for me moving forward. We're going to be doing some more debates, versus matches, and I'm not saying that we're going to bring up Venusaur and Geralt again, but I'm not saying that we won't.
Correct.
I've officially defeated Chris to the point where he won't even fucking talk to me about it anymore. I want to say it was on the last episode. He goes, "I'm not fucking talking about this again, man. This is we're done." I'm like, yes, good.
Yes.
We're gonna continue the Let's Play series. Hopefully, once we get that capture card, we can do Switch games and shit like that. We're gonna continue with the deep dive series. The next one is the BioShock trilogy. Super fucking excited to jump into that. Never played it. That was voted by Patreon. That was the first deep dive series that Patreon has voted for. So again, if you want to be a part of the content that we create, patreon.com/2game. And then last but not least, I haven't made a whole lot of leeway with this, but it is coming in the future, I promise you. And that is the Dungeons and Dragons inspired story, the audiobook series that I got going on. It's been a while since I've do what?
I can't wait for that. I can't fucking wait for that.
It's very time consuming to do that plus everything else. So it's been I don't know, several months since I've even wrote a word down, but eventually it will come. I promise you.
I mean, you got to think of it this way. All the Patreon has their own character in this story. How you make it up is up to you. It is hilarious to listen to watch and listen to some of these characters is just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be implemented in this story, oh dude, it's fucking hilarious. I can't wait.
I forgot who was it. Rachel's character?
I think it was Rachel's character.
Was the last one that I left off with. It was he carries the huge stick.
But he does.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure it was hers. And he doesn't know that he what that even means. He doesn't get it.
Yes.
But anyways, do you have anything else you want to say to these fine people before we cut out of here, sir?
I mean, other than Patreon and obviously the people who listen and watch, thank y'all. I mean, like Matt said, I cannot think enough about letting us do this on a regular basis. I mean, we sit in our rooms. I mean, as you see, I have fucking Dragon Ball. I'm a fucking huge ass fucking nerd. If I could show you my fucking shelves over here. it'd be fucking. It's just full of shit, like Dragon
One
Ball
day.
Z,
One day.
Gundams, Power Rangers. I literally have a whole shelf of Power Ranger shit. Oh yeah, OG Power Rangers. No, none of this other shit.
Oh, of course, of course.
So yeah, I mean Star Wars shit out the ass. I got swords, lightsabers everywhere. Fuck, Gundams. But yeah, other than that, I mean, just to express my nerdiness and let everybody else's nerdiness come out, shout out. It's just that thought is helpful. Because some people are like, oh no, I'm a big old nerd. No, it's okay to be nerds. It's definitely nothing's gonna hurt it. There's a lot more of us than you think.
That is true. It's not like back in the old days where you had to keep yourself fucking. I'm not a nerd. Fuck you.
Hell no. There's a lot of us now.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna echo those sentiments. I appreciate everybody that has clicked on our episode, watched us, listened to us, anything, shared our shit on social media. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate you. And if you support us monetarily or not, I appreciate you. And especially to the people that contribute monthly with their subscriptions. Again, I salute you. You keep the lights on. So again, hey, Carmen, she's probably sitting there in her car right now, and she's like, "Oh, another sappy thank you post," because she's fucking said that before, and I'm like, "Bitch."
Hey, you shut your mouth. Shut your mouth right now. Bad.
I'm gonna say
bad.
I'm gonna fucking say thank you, okay? Because y'all fucking deserve it.
We know your sympathy is low, and I know you've been working on it, but it's fine. It's fine. This helps.
But again, thank y'all so much. Next year, big things next year. Oh, I didn't even mention fucking going to Tokyo next year.
Bruh, there's gonna be so much audio and video for that.
Yep.
Copious amounts.
A lot.
Indeed.
But guys, I appreciate y'all clicking on this and listening to us or watching us, whichever you do to consume us. Shout out.
Indeed.
Again, thank you so much for the 3 years. It's been a hell of a ride, and I'm looking forward to the next however long you will give us.
Correct.
Also, shout out.
Indeed. Very brief.
Well, guys, that's going to be it from us. We'll catch y'all next time on another episode. Laters.